Hey everyone, welcome to this student success interview. I'm Garth Laidlaw with Portprep, and I help art students complete their portfolios to get into their top art schools across the globe. Portprep can help you create the absolute best art portfolio that you can possibly make and have the best chance of getting into your favorite art schools. We have courses on figure drawing, character design, perspective, animation, storyboarding. We even have courses that deal specifically with Sheridan College's animation portfolio, which is notoriously difficult to get into and which is what I graduated from. One of the primary problems that we've noticed with students not getting into their top art colleges is the accountability to produce work on a consistent basis, and this is exactly what we've created these courses for. When you sign up for one of Portprep's courses, we draw directly on top of our students' work to make corrections and also record all of our online meetups and video lectures to send to the students so that you can have it forever. Portprep is incredibly proud of our success rate with getting students into their top art colleges and universities, and so please have a look at our testimonials page. We also offer one-on-one art mentorships as well that are much more customized to your specific artistic goals. Without further ado, let's listen to this student interview. First of all, congrats on behalf of all Portprep. We're very happy for you. And now, so I guess, well, we could go through your portfolio and maybe have a look and just kind of see, do you have any general tips for students? Like what were some things that you would have done differently? I mean, probably everything you did was pretty right on, actually, but is there anything that you would have done differently?
Well, I wrote down like a list of advice for general tips in each section, but the one thing that I kept like as a golden rule is to like manage your time efficiently.
Yeah.
Like, do not procrastinate. I emphasize that so much. Do not leave it to the last month. Don't leave it to the last week, because that's the mistake I made in the past. Mm-hmm. So it's always good to like start at least over the summer. And when you start early, master the fundamentals early. Master figure drawing, or like how to draw forms and perspective, gesture and structure.
Yeah.
Improving your line quality. Try to master that early on before the portfolio requirements come out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you were doing that. Had you applied previously, or was this your first time applying?
This was my third time applying.
Third time, okay. So you're familiar with it, and you've had some time to kind of think about what you would do differently and such.
Yeah, no, it all comes from experience from the previous two times where it was mostly the reason why I didn't get in the first two times was really poor time management, to be honest.
So time management was a big thing.
Yeah, and another tip I would definitely recommend, don't always settle with your first idea. Have multiple ideas and drafts for everything, especially like the character rotation.
Yeah.
Layout is super important. Pretty much with everything.
Yeah. So you had multiple iterations. Like anything in particular? You said layout. Did you do the layout multiple times? Let's have a look at that.
Yeah, the layout, I was like brainstorming through multiple ideas a lot.
Yeah.
And then at last I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna finally settle with this or whatever and just try to improve upon that.
Yeah. I remember this background. This is great to see this in its final version. Wow. It's so great having this smoke monster coming out of the stove over here, or the oven.
Yeah, no, I'm so proud of my layout. I didn't think I was gonna get so far with it, but at the end I was super happy. Yeah,
this one's really fun too. It's nice how you've simplified the forms and but everything feels unique and different. Like, it doesn't all feel like it's made of the same thing. The grass feels very grassy and soft, and the rocks feel very geometric and sharp, and it has this kind of ominous feeling to it. The whole layout has this almost like a strong edginess to it, a strong sense of geometry.
Yeah, I try to go for like very stylistic and like have elements that will look kind of threatening in a way. I don't like with the like the pointiness, like the repetition of like pointy, like everything looking all pointy and like I don't know. I try to go very stylized with it.
Yeah, that's great. And I recognize, I'm not sure if these are the exact ones, but I remember in your personal work you had that prop sheet, and I see a lot of these props that you wanted to put in around here.
The prop sheet, the prop sheet helped me brainstorm what to put in some places, so it was really helpful.
Yeah, I just want to go see that. Here it is. I remember this. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a great idea, and I wanted to highlight this because a lot of students, most students go for character, story, and then secondary maybe is background. But very few people actually do a little prop sheet like this. So this is so I like seeing this.
Yeah, it's really helpful when you're trying to brainstorm what to do for the layout and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome. I love it. Any other things, Katrina, that you'd like to mention? Oh, your animation. What about this one? This was a new thing for you, right?
Yeah, no, that took a long time to clean up, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time it was fixing the timing and making sure the walkie-talkie was looking like on model.
Yeah.
So it took me forever to like perfect that out and the timing and everything.
Yeah. And it's nice that you had this little green light change too. That kind of it hammers that story home of what's going on here.
Yeah, I just wanted to be like, everybody is charging now, I guess, full battery.
Yeah, that's a clever one.
Like one thing, like another general tip I really suggest for future applicants, try to like stand out with every part of the portfolio, like have some kind of narrative at least. I don't know how to say that properly. Like try to entertain the professors like in a way when they're grading, like for example, like with the hand, like don't just show the hand with an object, but try to have like some kind of story, like there's like a really wet gross looking mouse toy, and you want to show like the feeling of disgust of throwing away. Like I tried having a narrative like at least with something like in every part to like stand out. So I think that's why whoever graded my portfolio, I guess I was able to entertain them in a way.
Yeah, that's a really great way to think of it, because I think it's easy to get caught up in the technical aspects of the portfolio, but to kind of have an element of fun in it and realize that these people that are looking at your portfolio are humans, and they, if they have the odd laugh here and there, or they see kind of a theme. I talk about theme a lot too. I always encourage students to kind of think about something that connects the whole thing, even though this world is obviously very different. Most of it is sort of in this world. You still have like, you have some variety, but you also have a unified idea of what you want to have throughout.
Oh, my storyboard. I'm actually really proud how far I was able to push that, because it was redone so many times.
I remember, yeah. A lot of iterations here. And
and it's just constantly modifying to make sure Possum was on model, that each shot, like each board, was showing the action clearly.
Yeah, and yet you still got to push it really far too, eh? Like I like how you really got some great exaggerated expressions in there of the possum, even though they don't give you a lot. This is one thing that I keep talking to all of our students about, is that they only give you those two. They don't show you any expression or facial emotion or anything. You have to kind of fill in that blank. So it's great that you were really able to do that. You got two good extremes here. Three if you count this one. You got a big range of emotion between these last three panels.
Yeah, like one thing I advise for storyboard, like make sure like each board it's like different in a way, like they don't look too similar to each other. Yeah. And you try to show like the expressions and the action as clearly as possible. Like try to find a way that you can push it more and like make it look better, like emphasize like the action in each shot more, and as long as it's clear, because clarity is key.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's so great. Let's see, in your personal work, let's see, I remember seeing this.
Yeah, I wanted to do more of my personal, but unfortunately, like with the time that I had left, I just had to like fix whatever I had like super quickly.
Yeah. Oh, neat.
Yeah, but yeah, I put a lot of explorations for the first personal piece because I know they like seeing like your process and the sketchiness and stuff.
Yeah, and you have it all laid out nicely too. Doesn't feel like anything's kind of shoved in here. It all nice has it has its own space in this document, so it's very easy to see everything. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one we already looked at the props. Oh yeah, this one, I remember this one. Nice.
Yeah, I tried fixing the lighting here so it looked better, like stand out more.
Yeah. Did you add some lights in? Like were these lights on before, or was that from what we discussed? I can't remember.
Yeah, no, before, like originally it looked like the bottom third one on the left, but then like I remember you telling me, oh, like add some lights here so it can like stand out more, like have something more in it. So I just try to add some lighting.
Oh, great. That's nice. Yeah, it is nice. It adds a bit more of a variation of, well, it adds a nice warm too. Otherwise it's a very cool background, but now you've got a little more contrast there. But it's nice that you showed your progression too. I love seeing this, the final line. Sometimes even people throw in the sketch final line, the tonal, and then the kind of almost final, and then the final. It's nice.
Yeah, I know Sheridan, they love seeing that kind of stuff. Like, that's it. I'm gonna try to show everything that I did with this.
Yeah, that's great. This one, let's see. Oh, neat.
Okay, so those were really old. I did not think I was gonna use those, but unfortunately, I couldn't even finish like the other personal pieces I wanted to do, so I had to put that in there.
Yeah, cool. Just little. Well, you've got some nice brushwork in here too. I like the texture you've got in here. Yeah, I don't remember.
It was the first.
Great that you could use it though.
Yeah, it was the first time I was doing photo studies and messing around with lineless brushes and everything. So I wasn't feeling too confident with these, but I had to like dump it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and this one was in the other one too. This little card.
This was done literally a few hours before submission, and I had to rush. I had to rush through that so quickly with the cars.
The sketches.
Yeah, the sketches, they were like on the right, they were already there, but the final line and color, I had to rush through that so quickly.
Okay.
And I was like hoping to do like a better job at least, but I was like, 5 hours left, 4 hours left.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, just snuck it in right under the wire.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Well, that's everything, Katrina. Any last tips, or do you have any resources that you'd like to pass on, or any closing thoughts as to what you'd encourage others to do?
I have pages worth of advice, so I don't know if we have time to go through all of it.
Well, you can definitely run through some of it for sure.
Okay, so another general advice I have, get as much critique as possible, because you might not see it, but other people will see things like, oh, you can improve on this and you can push on this more, and like they're able to see the mistakes, like how you can emphasize something more. Definitely join the Discord server that they have every year now, the Sheridan Hopefuls Discord.
That's great that they do that.
Definitely, if you're able to have a tutor like Portprep, or the students that are currently in the program, they're super helpful.
Yeah. I'm glad we were helpful.
Yeah, no, this helped me structure myself a lot. So if you're lazy and you procrastinate, definitely encourage Portprep.
Awesome. That's great.
Every year they also have at APW, like a free international portfolio review day. So you can get critiques from the professors at Sheridan or people that are already in the industry. That's super helpful. Also, another general tip, watch as many portfolio videos as possible. Like look at past successful portfolios, also rejected portfolios, because like try to get in the mindset of like how the professors, they would grade it. Like, why did this person lose points? Why did this person gain points? What do they like looking for? So try to analyze so it helps you know how to do your own portfolio.
That's a great piece of advice. I really like that. I think that's one thing that is so different now that, you know, everyone's posting their work online on YouTube and such. You can see, like, everyone's work. It's like, what a great gift.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you can get in the mindset, like the habit of the mindset of grading like a professor, you're gonna see things a little bit easier. Like, this is what I should do. No, they're not gonna like that. Let me scrap that. Let me change this and that, basically. And then the rest of advice I have is pretty much in detail with each of the sections. So figure drawing, start as early as possible. Like at least as soon as it's summer vacation for like those that are in high school, whatever, just start. It takes up the most time. You were practicing a lot then, I assume? Yeah, I didn't, like this year, I didn't start like practicing until July because I also took an anatomy class. Because my anatomy skills, they were pretty like rusty back then, so I had to take like a muscle course. Understand how to think in 3D, form and gesture, perspective of like the positioning of, I guess, like the feet and the arms and everything. Line quality, don't worry about line quality because that just comes with time. The more you practice, the more like natural, like the lines are gonna come out, like the smoother they're gonna come out. Short poses, emphasize a lot with movement and gesture. Don't think too much about the structure. Like have some structure, but think more with the gesture and like showing that clearly. And for long poses, then you can emphasize the structure and showcasing like the bony landmarks and some muscle landmarks like the biceps, the bottom, like the leg muscles as well. Also, try to identify everything within the pose. Don't leave anything unfinished, especially with the hands and the feet. Like for the
they
hands,
don't like that. That's a good one. They really like to see the whole figures.
Like even if it's just like a rough block in, like have something there. Don't leave it unfinished. Oh, also for the face as well, like show the eye line or like show some part of the face. So like you show the perspective at least with the head. For studying for figure drawing, copy, study, and apply from books and resources. I have a bunch of resources I would love to share.
If you send those to me, I'll put them in the sort of at the end of this interview video.
Yeah, no, exactly. A lot of it is basically how to really draw structure well, and I have one other book to draw gesture, so I can send in those.
I love, those are always great recommends. I'm sure students are always hungry for some analog resources rather than just websites.
And like, don't just blindly copy from the books. Like copy, but then analyze. Like, okay, what am I doing? Like dissect the drawings from the books, and then try to apply that to your own practice when you're doing figure drawing and stuff.
Awesome.
For hands, I mean, just practice hands over and over again. Like try to have the structure ingrained in your mind. Like, okay, like this is the proportion of the palm. These are the proportion of the fingers. Show underlying structure of your hands. Sheridan loves seeing that. Also think of your two hand drawings like two keyframes. So like don't make them look too similar to each other. Like to make sure you're like showing the action clearly in the second hand drawing.
That's a great way to think of it, almost like as if it's an animation. You're gonna see it in movement. Oh, and also show some gesture with your hands too. Like
I don't know how to explain that properly. Like, don't make your hands look too stiff. Like, have some to show like the movement. Basically.
Yeah, some expressive quality of the line, perhaps, to kind of not make it feel like it's very static. It's in motion, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Because if it's like static, it doesn't really look that interesting to whoever's grading. Also, this is something I learned from a current student. Try showing both sides of the hands in each hand drawing.
Yeah, I've also heard that multiple times, that they enjoy seeing both sides of the hand.
Yeah, so I tried doing that with my own hands to like my best ability. So make sure you show like the palmar side. Like, I don't know if that's right. There's terms for it, but I forgot. Like, show the exterior and show like the interior of like the hand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For character rotation, never go with your first idea. Have multiple ideas.
That's a good one.
And then when you finally settle for a character that you like go through many exploration designs of that character. Have multiple concepts and go down from there. Yeah, go through multiple explorations. Oh, and one thing that I've learned from, I also learned from a student that applies to animation in general, learn how to plus everything up, because everything in animation can always be pushed and exaggerated more.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Especially for character design, because you're not just, designing a realistic human. You the point of animation
is exactly
to exaggerate and have fun with it.
Yeah, exactly. Have fun with it. If your character's a sassy, mean type of character, like the grandma character I have, emphasize the pointy design aspects of it. Get really creative and fun.
So use the shape language to kind of convey their personality.
Yeah, exactly. Shape language is important, and also keeping it very simple. Don't overcomplicate with unnecessary details that will not contribute to the character when somebody looks at it. Basically ask yourself, would this be manageable to animate over and over again? So if you're able to draw it over again, then it's a good design.
Yeah, that's great.
When you have your final, I guess, mother pose, which is what somebody told me, dissect it into simple shapes, because if you don't dissect it the simple shapes with the structure, it's gonna be a really rough time rotating. So that is one thing that I struggled with the rotation. I kind of rushed through that part, so that's why I kept redoing over and over when I could have been finished a long time ago, instead of redoing and redoing. For layouts, try not to do the typical bedroom interior or the typical forest exterior. Try to have a theme or a story of it. Try to have fun, because that's what they love seeing at Sheridan. They love seeing a story. Exaggerate that theme, have repeating elements within. So I try emphasizing a lot of things that are all pointy, and I try to have a similar theme with each of the elements in my interior layout.
Yeah, definitely. It feels very unified.
Yeah, I have it all unified too. One tip for layout is that you can always use your character from the rotation and try to give them a story within the layout.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
So that's what I did. Yeah, that's what I did with the grandma, basically. Think graphically when coming up with your thumbnails and exploring compositions. Think in shapes. When you're trying to find a really good composition for your layout. And that way you can also figure out, okay, how are all these shapes in the foreground, where's the focal point in your layout? Because clarity is key. Don't over detail with objects. Make it clear as possible. And that's pretty much all I have for layout. for the animation section, don't overcomplicate. Like, as long as it's showing like the clear movement and that, you know, the principles of animation, like timing, squash and stretch, follow through action. I mean, you can also try to have a simple narrative too, just don't overcomplicate it, but as long as you're able to, like, I guess, entertain the professors at least, I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for animation, basically.
And what software did you use, by the way?
I use Procreate, which is not the best software for animating because it's very limiting in a way.
Okay.
But I somehow managed to make it work because I'm so used to drawing everything on the iPad. So.
Yeah, that's fine.
Storyboard. I'll have multiple storyboard ideas in mind because originally I was gonna do a mermaid siren type of storyboard, but I already saw like 3 other type of like mermaids.
Oh, wow.
I saw 3 others and I'm like, they're all doing this better than me, so I had to completely scrap it out.
Okay.
Yeah, so have multiple ideas in mind. Look for inspiration from, I guess, social media and like videos online, I guess, that will help you brainstorm like funny ideas.
Yeah.
I didn't finish writing out the tips for storyboard, but also just keeping every shot looking different, emphasize the action clearly. If you can push it more and make it clear, then it's going to be really good. Watch out for tangents. Like, I guess that's a really technical one.
Yeah.
Tangent. Watch out for that. Make sure your possum's on model.
No, sorry. I'll just, in case anyone is wondering, tangents are when there's 2 lines, maybe one is in the background, it could be like a tree or a bush or something, and that perfectly lines up with one of your lines in the foreground and almost like confuses the viewer. It's easier to show with an example, but one example that could have happened is if this tree line, this vertical tree line here, perfectly matched with that window and almost felt like they were part of the same thing. So it starts to confuse the form a little bit. That's what a tangent is.
Yeah, I've heard the storyboard prof. I've heard like he gets picky with tangents and stuff, so I kept that a lot in mind.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, keep your possum on model because they get picky with him like being on model a lot. So, yeah.
Great.
For personal, have a lot of variety. Like, don't just stick with character art. Like, show more than just character design. Do props if you like doing props. That helps brainstorming for your interior layout as well. So it's like a double win in a way. Like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Also show like photo studies, any more like vehicle exploration, like more prop studies. Animatics, they like to see animatics and animation as well, which I see a lot of other people submit. And yeah, just have a lot of variety and make sure you have a lot of color within it as well. Like, have fun, basically.
Yeah, you do have color in all of your personal work. That's a good point.
Yeah, because basically the portfolio, like the rest of it is in black and white, so it kind of refreshes the grader's mind when they see your personal, like, okay, there's a lot of color and it's showing this artist's personality and everything.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome, Katrina. Thanks for sharing all of your tips.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. So is there any last ones you'd like to share, or is that sort of all? I mean, you've given us a lot, so that's great. I'm sure anyone watching this is going to be feeling in good hands.
Yeah, no, it's don't let the portfolio dominate your entire time. Have frequent breaks because your mental health is really important when you're doing this.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Have a routine, I guess, because I'm a procrastinator and I'm pretty much like have the habit of being lazy. So if you have a routine and you're doing like consistently every day, it's gonna help a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess like try to make it fun at least. Like, don't make it too much of a drag of the portfolio, because when you actually have fun doing it, it's going to be a lot better at the end. Like,
and
overall.
it'll come out through your work. Like your work will be better as a result of kind of having fun and making it fun for yourself in the process.
Yeah, like your personality and everything is going to show out a lot more. So
yeah, great. Well, once again, congratulations, Katrina. It's so great. You'll be going in the fall 2021, right? So
yeah, hopefully it's in person, which
I know
I'm
we're all
crossing my fingers.
Yeah, I hope so too, for everyone's sake. It's hard to do,
Yeah,
some things it's okay to do
imagine.
from afar, but life drawing, things like that just aren't the same.
It's not. It's really not. Like, I used to go to a studio all the time, but then they shut down, so I had to rely on Crocky Cafe and a bunch of YouTube resources online. Yeah,
that's great. Well, you made it, so it's all it all worked out. Third time's the charm, I guess, eh?
Third time is the charm.
All right. Well, thanks for having this interview with me, Katrina. This is really, really awesome. It's always nice for me too to see what all of our students are thinking about and how they approach these things, aside from what we deliver in our courses, obviously. So that's really great.
It's Portprep definitely helped me out a lot.
Oh, awesome.
Like, just
that's good to hear.
I think it's just the aspect of being held accountable every week. Like, you watch the video and then the weekly meetups. Yeah, that helped me so much. I'm just really grateful for that. Great.
Well, I'm glad it worked out, and best of luck when next fall when you're moving there. Awesome. All right. Well, I'll see you later, Katrina, and best of luck in the program.
Thank you so much, Garth.
All right. Take care.